So bishop c4, that's an interesting move. Bishop's opening. So I would recommend white play knight f3 because the light square bishop have more choices than the knight, than the g1 knight. White can decide to move bishop to either c4 or d5 later. So bishop c4, knight f6, we develop the knight, that is good. Queen to f3, and we develop our bishop, very good. g4, and this move slows down the piece development. So we can keep developing pieces like knight c6 and knight d4 to kick the queen. And we castle. This is also good to make the king safe. g5, and we move the knight to c6. So we need to think about the knight. I think we can move knight to e8 if we want to make the knight safe. Another interesting move, that is knight g4. We don't need to worry about losing the knight because we can play d5. There is a discovery tab. We can basically trade our knight with the light square bishop. This is so good. So by knight at c6, we lost the knight. That's lost. So we push the pawn, h5, and knight d4. The queen goes to d1. Actually, white can trade out queen, I think. We take that, and the bishop can go to d3 to protect the c2. If we take the pawn, we'll lose the knight because we have to take the queen, and we'll lose the knight. So white chose a passive move, queen to queen to d1. So we actually have a very brilliant move, that is knight c2. If white takes that, we can take the f2 pawn, forcing the king to d1. And looking at this bishop g4, if bishop to e2, we can checkmate in one. And knight to e2, knight to e2 is better. We can maybe queen to g2 to attack the rook. Rook goes here. We can trap the rook. We can win the piece back. And also, we can also move the rook to queen to g2 before moving bishop because we can win an entire knight. That's even better. So knight c2 is a very good move. So queen f4, c3, knight back to c2. We can take the pawn, right? And there's a fork. We can take the h1 rook or knight c2 after queen e4. h6, and we take f2. That's a mate. Our opponent didn't realize that. It's a very brilliant move. We checkmating one.